Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness. Guys, last night was insane. Last night was nothing short of madness, right from inside the party room to outside the party room. I don't know what these housemates drank, yes, but it seemed like all of them, they were on the same wavelength of madness. It felt like they were all on the same wavelength of madness. The frequency of their insanity, it was on the same level. They were all cray. As a matter of fact, see, I am correct when I say that all of these housemates literally went unhinged. Yes, everything, the party, the vibes, the energy was top notch. It was top notch. And in the midst of all of that, ladies and gentlemen, it was from one drama to the other, one drama to the other. Now, the housemates did not fight, but believe me when I tell you that they were all emotionally charged. Everybody was getting in their feelings. And I was wondering, like, come on, what the hell is going on? Everybody was in their feelings. I, as a viewer, guys, I was overstimulated because 1 minute I am feeling sad for these people, the next minute I am laughing my head off, the next minute I'm getting really angry because of what they are discussing, the next minute, guys, I'm laughing and rolling on the floor. And it did not just stop. It just went on and on and on and on and on and on and on, up until certain people decided that a certain housemate had been using them to play their game. So they are planning their revenge. There was the birth of a new alliance last night, all in a bid to conquer this particular housemate. And ladies and gentlemen, I am here to dish all the juicy tea because it's a lot. It's a lot. All right. Now, let me warn you ahead. This video might be too lengthy, but don't worry. Don't worry. It is worth it at the end of the day. So make sure you watch this video to the end. Do not skip out on any part. And if there's anything I miss, trust me, there's going to be a second video to that effect. All right. But anyways, before we get right into it, you are all specially welcome to my channel. My name is Bigher Naija. This is Frankly Speaking with Bigher Naija, and I am the girl with the tea. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. Okay, so first, we begin with the second Saturday night party of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, the party experience was explosive. It was explosive. It was a cocktail of madness, both from the DJ to the housemates. Everybody was moving mad in the most exciting way. The energy was electrifying. Ladies and gentlemen, Bigher Naija could not recognize herself right in our apartment because, guys, I was literally dancing my head off. The DJ came correct. The DJ understood the assignment. The energy was on point. It was a blast. The selection of the songs that were played, oh my goodness, it was just simply perfect for the occasion. The housemates were looking amazing and they came prepared to rock the party room. And that was exactly what they did. Last night was epic. It was a 10 over 10 minus nothing. So massive accolades to that DJ. I don't know his name. I've given him a direct shout out, but that DJ was simply on point. 100 over 100% on point. Yes. Now, speaking about the housemates, ladies and gentlemen, as much as they were having fun, you know that there is no Saturday night party without some drama and shenanigans amongst the housemates. And of course, we had a truckload of that. Yes. Now, first honorable mention on my list is, of course, the kind kumis. That's what I call them now. Because whilst everybody in the house seems to be having one situationship problem or the other, these ones, they've actually graduated to couples therapy. So they were having marital issues. Now, why do I say so? Let's not forget that Kai Kumi and Isabella, they bragged a lot about how they have broken up from each other. As a matter of fact, the other night, Isabella spent the night in K-Bobo's bed, and K-Bobo was having a lovely night rest, squeezing Isabella's boobies. Like, Isabella was comfortable right there. And so, just when I thought that finally, both of them, they have rid each other of their lover's toxicity, guess what? Kai Kumi was literally marking his territory around Isabella in the party room. And Isabella too liked it too. She loved it. Trust me, she loved it because she was not revolting. The guy was marking, like, Kai Kumi was literally behind this girl's bum bum like this. He will come to the side. He will whisper in her ear. She'll be like, Jesus, guys, yeah. See, it just reminded me of all those face me, I face you quarrels that I experienced as a child, you know, where I grew up, where husband and wife would be quarreling. After the whole compound will come and put mouth to come and separate them, and then they will fight and fight and fight. The next minute you see both of them, they'll be playing romance and love. That was exactly what these two idiots were doing. I'm sorry, but I have to call them idiots because the way they stress us, the viewers, and also stress their fellow housemates, guys, seeing them at the party, acting like nothing was wrong, even looking for a very, very comfortable corner to rock each other. I say people are crazy. People are crazy. And guess what? They had all that fun in the party room. But by the time they went back into the house, it was another quarrel again. Ladies and gentlemen, you see why I tell you that I was overly stimulated last night? Because a lot was just going on. 1 minute you're happy, the next minute these housemates are ripping off that happiness from you. It was just insane. But aside from them, there were also some very, very interesting, you know, movements going on in that same party room. And of course, I am referring to Dede and her fishes. There was Kola, there was Coin, and then there was also Jason J. Guys, this one was serious. So it looked like a fight for territoriality. Yep. Yeah. It looked like these guys were fighting to mark their territory around Dede. It was so funny because, okay, so something first of all happened here. Guys, it was so funny to see. Really funny to see. Now, Jason J, on the one hand, from time to time, he could dance around Dede and, you know, sometimes she would just stay there, act like she couldn't even see him. And when he notices that she's giving that off energy, he would fly away and go and dance with other people. And of course, he was having the time of his life. Now, Kola, on the other hand, remember, Kola had said that he was going to have a conversation with Dede after the party. So in a bid to set the tone of the coming conversation, he was trying to get close to her in the dance hall, right? So you see that sometimes he would come behind her, and then when she notices that he's there, she would literally run away, like quickly move away from him. At some point, the guy saw what was happening, he was laughing so hard. But then at some other time, he literally came to come and mark his position behind her. Now, there was then Jason J on her left. Yes, on her left. He was facing her like this. Kola was at the back, and then there was Bright. Bright, yes, I said Coin before, but it was actually Bright. Bright was on the right. He was actually facing Dede, and I was looking at these people. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Are you people trying to mark your territory or what? What is going on? Now, Jason J was very quick to see the awkwardness of the situation, so quickly he had to move away. Yeah, but Kola was still there for a bit, but then later on he moved away. So the whole shenanigan was just very, very weird and funny, right? But that was that. Now, speaking of Bright, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I was the only one that noticed that for a bit of time in the party room, Bright was sort of avoiding Mide. I don't know if they were avoiding each other or what, but Bright was not dancing with Mide. He was not all over her. Instead, he was all over Thelma. Was dancing with Thelma. You know, at some point, the music was so sweet because most of the guys removed their shirts. The music was so sweet that Bright literally went on his Cisco mode. He went on his knees and he was looking up to what's her name, Thelma, and was singing to her. And Thelma too was enjoying all of the attention. And I was wondering, like, what the hell is going on? And then later on, he would move to Mide to go and dance with her. At some point, they said some words to each other. We could not hear what they were saying. And then later on, he would go away for a while. And then you come. I'm like, yeah, now, wow. Bright has finished tapping current from Mide. So now Mide is no longer the shiny diamond that he had been chasing after this entire week? Like, is this how it used to be? Like, seriously? Because it was just so weird. But anyways, aside that, I even forgot to mention that before the party, some of the housemates were locked back in the house because they were late to the party. Yes, so after about 30 minutes, Big Brother had allowed them entrance into the party room, and that was when Coin, Sultana, Gigi Jasmine, and Iveta, yes, were able to get into the party room. I can't remember if Ibifubara was part of them, yeah, but then they got into the party room. So overall, the party was a 10 over 10. All around, everything was great, everything was amazing. Now fast forward to after the party, ladies and gentlemen. The first matter to inform you all of that was a massive fail was Kola's conversation with Dede. It did not happen. It did not happen. Dede did not give him the audience. She refused. According to Kola, he had actually asked her, to have a chat with her, and she had refused. She did not want to talk to him. And the guy was kind of pissed, but he was relentless. He was relentless. However, the fact that he was relentless, guys, it did not mean that he could not really get angry at Dede as well, because something else then happened, right? Immediately, all the housemates got back into the mansion. They wanted to play a game. Yeah, they wanted to play a game. Now, I suspect that by that time, Kola had already asked Dede for our audience, but she declined, right? So at that point in time, he was not happy, right? But then he was still sort of nursing hope that he could still get her to talk to him. Only for the housemates to be gathered in the lounge, and Dede was seated beside Coin. And before we knew it, she had put her two legs on Coin's legs, like this, She had sat like this, and her legs were on Coin's legs. And that had really provoked both Jason J and Kola. It had provoked them. And, hey, God, guys, I was wondering, like, why are people so vexed? Why? Because, I'm not even kidding you, these guys were angry. They were angry. They were so angry to the point that by the time Jason J went upstairs, he went to make out with Sultana. Yep. He went to make out with Sultana. Yes. Although it was very obvious, Sultana was the one that was making the move. You know the way Sultana was making the move with Coin. Yes. So she made the move with Jason J. And you could tell that Jason J in a way was sort of shy, or probably taken aback, like, oh, whoa, hold on a second. I am sharing your bed does not mean that I want to be sharing your lips, right? But then, ladies and gentlemen, I strongly suspect that because he knows that speculations are going to fly around the house, that information is going to fly around the house, that, Jason J and Sultana kissed, and he knows that Dede was definitely going to hear of the news, that guy decided to oblige. And so he and Sultana, they kissed. Now, it wasn't a proper tongue, teeth, saliva type of French kiss, no, right? But it was more like a sensual kiss on the lips, kiss on the neck, kiss on the cheeks, and Sultana was sort of intoxicated. Like, if a lot of the housemates, they actually were high on that alcohol that they had consumed, right? So Sultana, obviously being intoxicated to some extent, I don't know what she wanted from this guy, but she was like, oh, I'll see you downstairs. I'll see you later. And he was saying that he wanted to go and change his outfit. He needed to go and freshen up, that he would see her later. And then she had gone downstairs. And by the time Jason was done with that shenanigan, the smile on his face, the usual Jason J type of smile, like, what's going on here? And he looked around him. There were people around him. So you could tell that he was also pretty much satisfied. He had gotten the audience that he wanted, and he knew that those people there, they were going to go and populate that news instantly. For him, he wasn't bothered at all. But then, Denari had called him. Denari was at his closet, right? So Denari had called him and had sort of given him some advice that, dude, no go do anything, or like, don't go and do anything funnier. In other words, do not go and lay with this girl. And Jesse was like, that is not doing anything, no, in this house. Hey, that is not doing anything. He's just playing along. I said, okay, fine. Very good. So, guys, the moment that kiss happened, it felt like a turning point with fake Jason. Yes, because suddenly it just felt like a conversion happened. You know, Jason J switching from Dede's understanding good friend in the house to, you know what, I don't want to be in Dede's space anymore. Now, as it was for Jason J, that was how, in a way, it was for Kola. Guys, Kola was upset. Kola was angry. And what was really pissing him off the most was seeing that Dede had obviously moved on from himself and Jason J to Coin now. And so guess what happened? He and Jason J had a conversation. Yeah, they had a conversation where they had an understanding, because I feel like they had a eureka moment last night, right? Because seeing everything play out in front of them, they had a eureka moment and they clocked it immediately that, oh, wow, this girl is actually playing all of us. She will be with this one. If she's tired, moves on to the other one, moves on to the other one. Because, you see, something had actually happened earlier yesterday. You see that whole bed situation? We actually discussed it during our live conversation yesterday as well. Kola, in a way, was actually defending Jason J when he was having that conversation with his friend Bright. He was saying that, okay, wait, hold on a second, that why was Dede upset? Because it just did not make sense why she was upset. So why was she upset? There was no explanation for it. So for him, it felt like, nah, that Dede was overdoing it now. And that was what he said. He said, nah, she's overdoing it now. That he understands when a woman is trying to play hard to get, but then overdoing it by getting angry at the slightest thing, even the things that you're not even supposed to get upset at, you just decide to flare up just so that you can get rid of that person that you want to get rid of at that point in time. It does not make sense that everything is now being blown way out of proportion. Yes. So he was saying at that point in time that he was tired of the whole drama, you know, all the hide and seek, all the running around. So he's just going to wait to have a conversation with her and then see what he could make out of it. Yeah. But unfortunately, that conversation did not happen. So as I was saying, he and Jason J, they had a handshake, sealing off an agreement that spoke to the fact that moving forward, they are going to begin to play Dede by her own game. Since she has been the master puppeteering them here and there, they are now going to start playing her own game against her. In other words, that game that she has been playing, they're going to start playing the game. So what they plan to do is they are going to start ignoring her. Yeah. They're going to start avoiding her. They're going to start ignoring her. And they believe that very soon, Coin, or she's going to get tired of Coin, or Coin's going to get tired of her, because they see that Coin too is chasing after Sultana. So she's not going to have Coin solely to herself, because Sultana is not ready to let go of Coin. Yeah. So Sultana is going to be dragging Coin from Dede. So at the end of the day, when there is no longer any available guy by her side, they want to see how she's going to continue to thrive in this game that she is playing. Yeah. Now, I'm explaining this, all right, to give clarity to a lot of people, because whilst that whole shenanigan was going on last night, I saw some posts on social media where people were saying that, oh, Kola, Jason, Gigi, Jasmine, and Sultana, that they were ganging up against Dede, and I was just laughing like, come on, you people are just taking this whole thing too serious. Come on, what are you talking about? Is that people cannot hear? So it's not really a gang up, right? It was a eureka moment for them, a moment of realization dawning on them that, oh my God, they've been played all along by this girl. And as much as they were enjoying it before, now it is now excessive, and they have to put a stop to it and take control of their own narrative, because they also realize that they have been, you know, characters in Dede's own story. So now they are choosing to take control of that story, remove themselves from her story, and take charge by ignoring her, by avoiding her, by no longer entertaining, you know, all of her sass, right? So they want to see how she's now going to enjoy her game by herself if there is no fish around her for her to use and control at her beck and call. So it was when they were having that agreement, right, that Sultana and Gigi Jasmine, they were there and they were so excited about the whole thing, and they're like, oh my god, you guys are such brain boxes. Okay, you know what, let's just create an alliance, let's form an alliance. And they were laughing about it. So it wasn't like they formed like a solid alliance. No, they were just excited at the prospect that, oh my god, a very solid gameplay is about to kickstart itself in Big Brother's house, and they are having first dips in the teapot. Yes, that was what that was all about. Now, as much as that conversation happened, ladies and gentlemen, it was quite funny to me that later on, okay, was it later on? Okay, not even later on, I think even before that conversation, Kola had a very brief chat with Imisi in the garden, where Imisi was telling him not to continue to bother himself about Dede, that this girl has really, you know, proved that she does not want to give him attention. So he should move on. He should go after other girls, that he's a catch. And there's no girl in this house that he cannot get if he wants to. So Kola was saying, that he's done, no. But then again, he would still want to have that conversation with Dede so that he can then make up his mind on what to make out of their situation. So it was after he had said that and he went into the house that he encountered Jason J again for the second or third time, actually for the third time. And then they had that seal in their agreement that was what they were going to do. And that was Kola once again reaffirming that he was in on this new plan of theirs. So as much as I was quite excited and still excited at the prospect of how this whole thing is going to pan out, ladies and gentlemen, you and I know that we cannot trust either Kola, not to even talk of Jason J, in that whole situation. And the reason is because Jason J genuinely cares about Dede. Yeah? He genuinely cares about her. He does not want to see her get hurt or uncomfortable or unhappy. And he has been her comfort pillow in that house, especially through the storms with Kola. So watching him get really upset at the fact that, you know, he just realized that he was being used in Dede's game, I kind of felt sorry for him. But at the same time, I felt like it was such a hopeless venture because it might not work. Yeah? Dede and Jason J, they have a genuine friendship, a very beautiful and easygoing rapport. But then, I cannot wait to see how it pans out. Now, on to Kola. Kola, guys, we know that Kola is obsessed with Dede. So him saying that he's going to completely ignore her, okay, you made those promises during the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, that we're not going to talk to her anymore. But it was the same you that kept on trying to do things to get her attention. It was the same you that kept on talking to people about how you felt bad about what happened. You want to go and make peace with her. You want to apologize to her. Okay, you were restless. You were having sleepless nights. You were lovesick in the house. So what is the guarantee that you can actually uphold this agreement you have with Jason J? What? Because guys, what I foresee is Kola is going to betray that agreement, especially Kola. Kola is going to betray that agreement. He's going to look for ways to reconnect with Dede. And I feel like the gameplay Dede is going to, you know, push out there is, okay, Jason J wants to be acting hard to get. Okay, she's probably going to be giving more attention to Kola and Coin, using both of them to play her game of triangles and entanglement. And then later on, Jason J will get jealous and get upset that Kola did not uphold the agreement. And then he too would want to now come back into the fold. And then once again, they will now reunite as one big happy family. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have a long way to go. It's going to be a long season. And I cannot wait to see how everything unfolds, all right? But you know what? I'm going to stop talking here right now for this particular video because, oh my goodness, there's still a lot to talk about because there was a lot of chats here and there, lots and lots of things happening at the same time. So if I continue like this video is going to be ridiculously lengthy. So I'm going to stop talking here and there'll be a part 2 video where I give you guys the rest of the details. So please go ahead, share your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this new pact between Kola and Jason J about Dede is going to work? Do you think they're just kidding themselves? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the part 2 of my video. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.